Hello and welcome to Your Stocks, coming live from the CNBC-TV18 Motilal Oswal studios. I'm Vinny Motiwal and thank you so much for tuning in as always. Let's take a quick look at the market. Has recovered from the day's lowest point is what we're seeing for the Nifty 50 as well as the sensex. But what's outperforming today is the broader end of the market. Nifty as of now 24,370 levels is what it's managing to hold on to, and sensex 80,600 is where it's trading at. Mid-cap day's highest point almost around that mark, 1.24% uptick coming in for the Nifty mid-cap. Small cap also managing to hold on to that strong green coming in for the Nifty small cap as well. Nifty Bank, some bit of a recovery that's come in from that, though it's far away from its day's highest point. As of now, holding on to gains of almost 0.1% in today's trading session. Other than that, autos is the one I want to highlight. Nifty Auto, that's the top sectoral gainer. It's holding on to gains of almost 1.3%. So keep an eye out on the Nifty Auto as well as the Nifty Metals. That's a pack as well that is managing to hold on to very good gains in today's trading session. So yes, that's how the market setup is looking like. The broader end of the market doing much better than the benchmark indices. But yes, moving on and getting started with the show for today. This is a show where we solve all your stock-related queries. And to do just that, we have our experts joining with us, Astha Jain, Research Analyst at Securities, and Somil Mehta, Head of Alternate Research, Capital Market Strategy at Mirae Asset Sharekhan, to answer all your stock-related queries. Good afternoon, Astha as well as Somil. Somil, just a quick check in terms of the market levels that we should keep an eye out on, both for the Nifty as well as the Bank Nifty today specifically.
Overall, if you say the market undertone is positive in the medium term outlook. However, in the very short term, in a range. We are trading in a range. Nifty is trading in a range between 24,200 and 24,600. I'll be expecting this range to break out on the upside, and the next target would be closer to 25,000, 25,100 for the next levels. In Bank Nifty, similar situation. However, Bank Nifty has seen a very sharp decline in the last couple of trading sessions. However, I'm expecting markets to Bank Nifty to take support around 54,000 levels, or maybe a little lower, 53,600 or 700. Those levels are a very crucial support zone, and from there I'm expecting a good upside on the towards 56,300, 56,400. So overall, undertone remains positive, trading in a range, but expected to break on the upside.
Okay, surely keep an eye out on those levels over there for the Nifty as well as the Bank Nifty. But on that note, let's get started with the first query for today. We have Siva Kumar, who's writing to us from Chennai. He's wants to know if it's a good time to enter ITC hotels as well as Indian hotels at the current price. Astha, good afternoon. Your view coming in on both these stocks, ITC hotels as well as Indian hotels. What are your thoughts on this one? Should they look to buy right now? How are the valuations looking like for both these?
Hi, good afternoon to both of you. Talking about both these counter, first of all, talking about Indian hotels, we believe that the structural tailwind of the industry is definitely there, because we are expecting more FTAs, that is a foreign tourist arrival, and that will lead the strong growth, especially in the ARRs, that is the average revenue, average room rate. So I think that will really help the company in the long term to post good numbers. But in the short term, we were not very much, optimistic about the results, and that's why, even though the standalone performance was good, but overall we believe that this stock can fall more. So there is a more downside is there, and where one can make a fresh entry. So not at the present moment of a time, maybe somewhere at around 730 to 740 odd levels are a good levels to make entry into this counter, with a price target of 800 and above levels. So right now, making fresh entry into this counter is not advisable. Maybe some more dips can come where one can make entry into. Talking about the other counter, which is the ITC hotels, I believe with the demerger that has happened, this counter is now trading at a price to earning multiple of 36. And again, the industry tailwind will definitely be there. We have seen that they have a strong plans of the room expansion, and we believe that it is one of the strongest counter where one can deploy the funds in. But in both the counters, we believe that some more downside are better to make entry into, and hence even here also we are recommending to enter into the downside, maybe at around 170 to 175 odd levels. However, our price target for this counter is 250.
Okay. And Somil, your view on both these stocks?
Indian hotels looks positive in the medium-term outlook and in the short-term outlook. However, if you look beyond that, if you want to invest and keep the stock for more than probably 6 months or 1 year, I don't see anything happening here. It is in a range between 860 and 720 levels, and I'm expecting the stock to keep consolidating for a little while, and then probably a breakout on the upside. So in the very short term, has taken support around 720, 730, and will be expecting Indian hotels to go till at least 820 levels. So short term targets, but not in the medium term outlook. Indian hotels, I don't have much data on ITC hotels, but it is forming a triangle pattern, and I'm expecting a sideways correction for ITC hotels between 185 and 208. So these are the levels. Above 208, it will become a very good buy, and probably it will go up till 260, 270 levels in the medium term outlook.
Sure. Okay, that's a view coming in there. But I just want to mark the flashes that are there at the bottom of your screens right now. We have exclusive coming in, and this is according to sources. They're telling CNBC-TV18 that general insurers are to seek 20 to 25% hike in motor third-party premiums. Currently, there's a general and health insurer CEOs meeting that is going on with the DFS secretary, which is underway, and they may also furthermore push for removal of obligatory premium cessations of GIC-RE that is there. Discussions are currently underway. Let's wait and watch what more comes in, but this is what we're picking up from our exclusive sources. Keep an eye out on ICICI Lombard. You also have general insurers that are in focus as well. New India Assurance is in focus. GIC is in focus. So that is something important to keep an eye out on. But yes, that's the update there. But now let's keep it going with one more stock that I want to highlight, and our ticker team was flashing, was also Craftsman Automation numbers that came in. Margins seem like they've seen a sharp bit of a fall coming in versus last year. So that's what I want to keep an eye out on. Net profit had seen a slight bit of an increase of around 8%. So let's watch out for that. That stock was down almost 2% when we were seeing it flashing on the bottom of your screens. Keeping it going with the queries then, we have the next query that's coming from Vinod Rajan, who's writing to us from Bangalore. He's holding 290 shares of Adani Enterprises, and this is at a price of 2,360 rupees per share. Wants to know whether to sell or wait for buying at lower rates. And given this current scenario, what should they be doing? Your view on this, Astha, Adani Enterprises, what should one be doing now?
I think one can remain invested in this counter with a price target of around 2,500 to 2,560 odd levels. This is at the initial level we are recommending the price target. Now, talking about this counter, as this is a flagship company of the Adani Group, and now this company's, in fact, the results were also good, and now this company is scaling up in the energy transition, data center, etc. So that will be really helping the company going forward and posting very good and a very strong financial performance. So my idea here is to stay invested in this counter with a price target of 2,500 to 2,560 at the initial levels.
Okay, keep an eye on those levels. And your view coming in, Somil, on Adani Enterprises, what should they be doing? They bought it at 2,360 rupees. So does it make sense to continue to hold this or look to sell?
I think this stock has been in a range for a very long time now. It's been in a range since November 2024 between 25,000 levels, 2,500 levels, and the lower end is 2,000 levels. So this is a broad range, and anything above this range, anything about 2,500 levels would be a good buy. But at this point of time, it is struggling to cross 200 daily moving average, 200 daily exponential moving average, and it's been consolidating. In the very short term, if this stock goes down till 2,100 or 2,000 levels, that will be a good time to buy the stock, but not at these levels.
Okay, not buying at these levels. That's the word coming in from you. Okay, let's move on and talk about the next query. This is coming in from Devadas Nair, who's writing to us from Kerala. He's holding 110 shares of Asian Paints is at a price of 3,100 rupees per share. holding it since 2021. But right now, obviously, clearly, the stock has not done much in the last couple of years. The stock is trading at 2,372, so he's making a loss here. Wants to know whether he should continue to hold this or look to sell this one. Astha Asian Paints, we'll have their numbers also coming out, but what are you expecting in terms of a move that is expected to come in? The stock is 30% down from its 52-week high, trading at around 44 times its FY27 PE as well.
Yes. So what was the major reason behind the volume growth was the continuous distress in the urban demand, although the rural demand for the company is increasing, but urban demand is right now again an issue for the company. And in fact, one of their product, they are started gaining the market traction also, and new products are contributing around now 12% of the total sales. Now, what we believe that with the increase in the discretionary spend, even the government trust is there, definitely this paint company will going to benefit from that in the longer term. But in the shorter term, some sort of volatility can be seen in the price momentum. But idea here is to stay invested and not exit from the current level, because the losses will be huge. So remain invested in this counter with the initial price target of around 2,700. And I think at those levels, again, one can review the query because we believe that the stock can move till those levels. So right now, a hold is recommended for our sake.
Okay, hold is recommended. 2,700 is what you're saying. Keep an eye out on that one. Somil, your view coming in for Asian Paints, right? Like I was saying, 30% down from 52-week high. Last 1 year specifically, we have seen that fall coming in also almost around 20%. What should one be doing now? Should they continue to hold this, or would you just say book out your losses, maybe look at another company?
I totally agree with Astha. I mean, my targets would be around 2,750 levels. The fall which we have seen in the last 1 year has been very sharp, and I'll be expecting, at least in the medium term outlook, I'll be expecting a very good run from here. These are the correct levels to buy. It's been in a negative zone at this point of time, but I think this is a correct time to buy into this stock. And for the targets are around 2,750. You can keep a very strict stop loss around 20 to 80 levels. This will be a very strict stop loss for the stock, because in the medium term outlook, it is definitely sliding down, but I'll be expecting a good bounce from here. And this bounce can take it to 2,750.
Okay, keep an eye on those levels. 2,700 and 750, around those levels is both our experts are highlighting for Asian Paints. Maybe then you can look to sell or get out of the stock. But let's move on to the next query, and this is coming in from Debraj Bhattacharya, who's writing to us from Bangalore. 300 shares of Trent is what he's holding at 750 rupees. This is since 2021. He wants to know whether he should continue to hold or divest into other retail or e-commerce stocks. Genuine query coming in there. I think, Astha, Trent as a stock has done well. The company as a performance has done well. Overall, when you look at it since the time the viewer has been holding the stock, 750 to today at 5,239. So they're making a good amount of profit on this, right? What should they be doing now with Trent currently? We had seen that this time's earnings, moderate revenue growth, but margin was something that came in as a surprise. So your view on Trent, continue to hold. What are you expecting here?
So I would recommend to hold this counter. Now, the reason behind this, first of all, their strategy is because now they are rapidly expanding the stores, so that will increase the footfalls. In fact, they are now launching into the UAE also. There's Zudio Beauty, etc. They are entering into the LGD jewelry, etc. also. So I think with these plans in the mind, definitely the management is very much well poised to show some very strong performances going ahead in the company's financial statements. This is what I can believe. And that is why we are recommending to hold this counter. And I think this is a good space in the whole retail space to remain invested in. So idea here is to hold this counter, and a price target can be set at around 5,700.
Okay, and Somil, what is your view coming in? Should they continue to hold Trent, or maybe look at some other retail or e-commerce stocks is what they want to know? And if yes, then what stock should they look at also?
No, I think trend looks great in the medium term outlook, in the short term as well. in the medium term outlook, it has already seen a sharp decline from 8,000 levels, 8,300 levels to 4,500 levels. And multiple times this stock has taken support at 4,500 levels. So I think from here, a good upside is expected. I'll be expecting in the very short term, the support is at 5080, and the next support is around 4,830. So these are the two levels to watch out for in the short term as supports. And in the resistance, as a resistance, I think 5,770. This is a level where the previous swing high was there. Above this, I think there will be a very good rally on the upside for a target of 6,800 levels.
Okay, surely keeping an eye out on that. But on that note, we're going to slip into a very short break. Don't go anywhere, viewers. We'll be back with more of your stock-related queries after the break. Welcome back to your stocks on CNBC-TV18. We still have with us Astha Jain as well as Somil Mehta to solve all your stock-related queries. Let's keep it going then. This next query we have is coming in on AngelOne. We have Vimal Kumar, who's writing to us from Kerala, holding 10 shares of AngelOne, price is 2,602 rupees, and this is since June 2024, making some bit of a loss right now on this one. So he wants to know if he should add some more stocks to average his losses or book out his losses. Astha, what's your view coming in for AngelOne? We had the April update also come in this morning. So what are your suggestions here?
So I would like to recommend hold rather than booking losses at this point of a time. Maybe one can see the cost price of around 2,600. So I'm setting that as a price target also. Now, what are the rationale behind this recommendation? Although we know that the results were not very strong and the major impact was due to the weak market conditions, some of the F&O regulation. And that is why we have seen the weak top line in the company's financial statements. But going ahead, what I'm positive about is that company has given the operating margin guidance of around 40 to 45%, and they will very well achieve it on the basis of the pricing. They have an edge for the pricing, and in fact what we have seen that some of the cost reduction measures can also be taken by the company due to the investment in the IPL. They have seen the elevated cost, so that seems to be reducing going ahead also. So on those basis, I believe that this company will show a strong financial performance going ahead, and markets are also now showing some sort of improvement. So all in all, remain invested in this counter, and we are very much optimistic that definitely one can see the cost price of around 2,600, which we are setting our targets also for this counter.
Okay, and Somil, your view coming in for AngelOne, should they book their losses, continue to hold? They're actually asking if they want to average, but I'm going to say hold or book your losses.
This stock has been in a range between 20 or 2,560, and the lower end is around 2,150. So I'll be expecting the stock to still be very range bound with a slight negative bias. If the stock goes above 2,560, close about 2,560, that'll be a great time to buy, and then you will have a good rally on the upside, and probably the targets would be around 3,000 levels. But at this point of time, I don't see anything happening in there, and it'll be a sideways movement. Probably you can switch on to some other stock where you find like Asian Paints, where I think there will be a more good upside in the stock.
Okay, keep an eye out on AngelOne and those levels over there. Let's move on to the next query. We have Astha Jain, who's writing to us from Mumbai, holding 180 shares of InterGlobe Aviation. Price is 5,160 rupees per share. Wants to know the long-term outlook on the stock. Astha, your view coming in for InterGlobe Aviation. There's so much happening in the aviation space, but we have crude that is also seeing a reduction coming in, which accounts to most of their cost, 40% of the cost. So what should one be doing with InterGlobe Aviation? Long-term story.
So now they are expanding internationally also, and with the low crude oil prices, and in fact they are making strong investments. I think this is one of the very strong candidate for not only holding in the portfolio but also making a fresh entry into. So we are recommending buy as well as hold both on this counter with a price target of 5,400 to 5,500 at the initial levels.
Okay, keep an eye out on those levels over there for InterGlobe Aviation. But, that was the last query for today. So thank you so much, Astha, as well as Somil, for joining in with us and helping our viewers, as always, solve all the stock-related doubts. And viewers, thank you so much for tuning in, as always, and sending us your queries. But we'll wind down this edition of Your Stocks. Up next, your closing bell.